What's going on, everyone? The Competitor here, back with another video. This time we are going to be going over turn stealing in MK11. I feel like this is a very important topic to touch on, so I just wanted to give you guys some quick insight as to what I mean by turn stealing. So, MK11, obviously, as you guys know, is dominated by a lot of either pokes or high attacks. Not every character has really fast mids. The exceptions being, characters like Rain or characters like Jackie, stuff like that. So, keep in mind these options don't always work against these types of characters, but against people like Johnny and stuff like that, or characters with stubbier buttons, these could be really powerful options. So, I want to go over two ways of stealing turns in this game. One is by disrespecting frame data based on your opponent's options, and two is by flawless blocking. So let's get into the frame data one. So I have Rain set to do reversal jab string, because most of the time in pressure, if you're like negative, people are going to go for a jab string so they can pressure, because that's mainly where they get their chip damage or their plus frames off of. So I have Rain set to do a reversal 1-3-4. So, if I did Rising Star, he would punish. If I just did 1-2-1, he would get his attacks. So, because 1-2-1 is -7 on block, you can see I'm holding down. I'm inputting the string and holding down, and the jab jails Johnny standing because it's minus enough. It doesn't punish it, but it jails him standing, so he can't poke out of it. You can see I'm trying to mash down one. It doesn't work. But if I do something less minus, something like -5, that doesn't jail them. The jab doesn't jail into a standing state. So like forward 4-4, I can down one under it. Now, a lot of players dismiss this as, oh, that's maniac play, why are you mashing? You're -5. Because consider your opponent's options. Now, one of these that you guys might see me do a lot is off of forward 3-4-4. This string is -2. There's a slight gap there. You can't flawless block it or anything, but the AI will try to do it on reversal. So let me whiff the forward 3. And I'm -2 there. Now frame data tells me that I shouldn't press. It's not my turn. But because of the pushback, the spacing, and the situation, a lot of the time you can press. Now they could always backdash and whiff punish. That's the counterplay to it. But I'm saying it's a very strong option to just poke after it because there's little risk. So if Rain tries to do his jab string, okay, in that situation it punished it because of the advancing move. But let's say I just wait a split second and down 1 or something. Or down 4, rather. You guys see how the turn stealing works there? And then you could always whiff punish their stuff too if they're going to try to do something else. Like if Rain tries to do his mid, you could always do that, then walk back and whiff punish. It's a whole mind game based off of that. So essentially being minus on block, depending on your spacing and your opponent's character's options, it's almost like being plus on block because you get to continue your turn. Because if he goes for a jab string, you know your poke's going to beat it. Because your poke is going to go under a high. Now, this only works for, you're going to have to lab your strings. A great example of this is off of a sweep. So Johnny's sweep is a -4. You're like, okay, well you should never press after that. Why not? Look at that spacing it creates. You could walk back and whiff punish whatever you want. You could interrupt it with a down 4. You could do whatever if they try to do highs. And like I said, if they go for a mid, you could backdash and whiff punish. It's really strong. And Johnny's not the only one that can do this. Almost everyone in the game has strings where they could do stuff like this. How many times has Sub-Zero done, back 3-2-1, and then you try to press like a jab string or something to get pressure, and he just down ones you? It's essentially the same thing. So that's just one way that I wanted to kind of go over it. Now, there is counterplay to it, because if they decide to down 1, right, if we record him to do a reversal down 1, right, now if we try to do our string and poke afterwards, notice the spacing, Johnny's still technically safe from it because it doesn't reach. So that's when, if you know they're going to be doing pokes, you could play another mind game and punish them with a mid. So that's what I meant by dependent on your opponent's options. Like, maybe it's a character with a really strong down 4, like in the Johnny mirror, or something along the lines of that, then your options are going to be different. But versus Rain, if you know he's either going to do a jab or a down 1 after this string, you have almost no risk just doing a down 4. Because, you know, you're not going to have to worry about getting whiff punished by the poke or whatever. Now, once they catch on to your pattern, if you're doing a down 4 every time after that string, then, you know, that's on you if you start getting whiff punished. But it's just an interesting mind game that you don't have to play just by frame data. Spacing matters too. For example, if you notice he's doing a down 1 after that, boom, whiff punish. But then, you know, he might dash in your face if he notices you walking back. So that's all just a mind game there. Now, on to part 2. This is the flawless blocking. Now, I'm sure you guys have seen in plenty of my gameplay videos and, you know, tournaments, whatever. There is a very, very popular flawless block setup that I do with Johnny all the time, and it creates a mind game of stealing people's turns. Now, Johnny's forward 4-4 is -5. -5 is like the magic number in this game because that will leave you the perfect flawless block window for an attack. So like most pokes are 7 frames, so being -5 will be that perfect window for you to be able to flawless block if they reversal every time. Now this gets beaten by plenty of options as well. This gets beaten by throws if they like, because a lot of people like to reversal throw after, you know, forward 4-4 and buttons like that on block. But a lot of people like to poke to check you because, you know, there have been situations where they go for the high strings, right? And I showed before, forward 4-4 leaves you minus enough to where the highs won't jail, so you can poke under it. So their counterplay would be to down 1 you. And you can absolutely steal your turn back with flawless blocks in this game because of that. So as you saw, boom, just flawless block up 2 right there. And you get a full combo. Now, this does cover multiple options, but the issue is that they can beat it as well just by doing a fast jab string. For example, if we set Rain to do 1-3, right? So if we do 1-3 and we try to see that the poke beats it, but now if we try to flawless block up to it, never mind. Actually, that's a bad example because Rain's 1-3 comes out slow. But if a character has a fast jab string like an auto shimmy like Johnny's 1-2, the 1-2 will beat your flawless block up 2 because there's no armor on it. So generally, the safe one would be to do the up 3, simply so you don't get smacked out of the flawless block attack, and you don't waste the meter. So at least you get some frame advantage there. But generally, things that are -5, -6 are great flawless block setups because of how the frames work with it. So like Liu Kang does this a lot off of his strings, like what was it, back 1-2-4, I believe. I see a lot of Liu Kangs do it after. It's like -6. It's really powerful because then he gets a launch. You can do it with a lot of characters. I see it with Scorpion, back 1-4-3 into flawless block up to whatever to punish the poke after. It's a really strong option that you see a lot in competitive play because, you know, essentially that makes this move plus. Let's say, right, we set the opponent to do a reversal throw because, you know, you forward 4 a lot, you forward 4-4 a lot with Johnny, so they want a reversal throw. Oh, you guess, boom. You know, down 2 crushing blow, you get big damage, whatever that may be. So then next time they're like, well, I'm not gonna reversal throw him, and if he's gonna just mash, let me do my let me do my down 1. Let me check him with that. And then they try that. Whoops. They try their jab string, and then they get flawless block launched. And you know, you add Johnny's crushing blows on top of that. You add fatal blow to that situation. It's, you know, it's terrifying because you're stealing options from the opponent. I think it's a really cool mind game to play. Anyways, you know, we went over how to disrespect frame data in MK11, which as you saw, it's a really powerful option, and you shouldn't just play by the numbers. You should also take into consideration the spacing of your move. So if something's -2 but it has a lot of pushback, do you really have to hold whatever they do next? And you know, stuff like that. Plus, remember, it's also dependent on your opponent, their character. There's options around it. You can, you know, walk back with punish. They could flawless block if you're doing the same thing every time. Just a bunch of options there. And then the other is that nice flawless block mind game, robbing the turns of your opponent after a string that's slightly minus. I think that's really strong. I see it a lot from Scorpions, you know, Liu Kangs, Johnny's, stuff like that. I'm sure most characters in the game have a good setup for that. So go ahead and lab with your characters. Let me know in the comments, you know, what flawless block setups you guys like doing with your characters. Send me clips on Twitter. If you're hitting this all the time with Johnny, I want to see it. You know, it's pretty hype. I actually have some really cool comebacks on my channel, like Vershu Jinky Dink and stuff that start from those flawless block steal situations off that specific move even. So, you know, be sure to check those out. I'll link the video here at the end as well. But thank you guys for watching. I really hope this helps open your mind going into 2021. You know, a new outlook on how to play the game, how to play MK11 with this ever-evolving meta and new characters rising to the top tier every day. This has been The Competitor, and thank you for watching. Thank you for a great year. And, I mean, well, 2020 hasn't been great for everyone, but for YouTube, I think it's been great. We hit 5,000 subscribers and growing. We hit just 1 million channel views the other day. I'm extremely happy for that, and you know, I'm happy that my content has been helping you guys. So everyone take care, and here's to 2021.